Alright guys, we're going to cover the capacitor at this point, which is right here. So before you stick in your hands in there, let's go ahead and disconnect power. Okay, so the purpose of your capacitor is to supply running torque to the motors. What they do is they split the phase of the windings, and they make a motor a little more powerful, more efficient. So that's the purpose of these capacitors. And if they go dead, because they hold a charge, if they go dead, then your motors will just sit there and hum. So typically these run capacitors won't hold that much of a charge. Start capacitors will. But just to be sure, remember to pull your disconnect, and then you come and just touch the posts together, kind of discharge any electricity that might be stored. So again, this is a dual run, and this one is a 45 microfarad for the compressor and a 5 microfarad for the fan motor. So this post here is the common. So you've got one side of the contactor coming to common, and this purple one is actually your fan motor. So this purple one can either go here or on the contactor itself, because as you can see, it's coming from the same place. So your fan motor, like I said, could go here or here. The other side of the fan motor is this black one. So you'll have 3 wires, and then this brown one, that's for your fan motor as well. The orange one back here, that post is for the compressor. So these, and you can follow your schematic. This black one and the red one and the orange one, those come from your compressor. We're going to cover compressor troubleshooting here after a little bit. On the fan, you're going to have this black wire, purple, and the brown. Now, to go ahead and take readings of this, see if you've got the proper microfarads, take your wires off. Just remember where you took them off at. You can label them, write it down, whatever you need to do. Okay. So I highly recommend when you get a meter, get one that does voltage and amperage. This is your amp meter. You would clamp that to test your amperages. So volts, amps, ohms, which is your resistance, and microfarads. And this is microamps. This would come in handy when you're working on your furnace. So I would get a meter that has all those: microfarads, microamps, voltage, resistance, amperage. So we're going to turn this to microfarad, and we're going to check the capacitance on this. So we're going to go from the common to the compressor, and I don't know if you can see it, but it'll say on here HERM. That means Herm for the compressor. This one will say fan on it. That's for your fan lead. And this says just C. That's your common. So you go from your common. Let's see how I can do this. Go from your common to the compressor, and you've got 41.9. And this was a 45. So this is getting weak. We're going to need to replace that. They give you, I don't know if you can see it there, but a plus or minus 6%. So if you're below by 6%, then that's out of the range and would need to be replaced. So again, on the common and on the Herm, we got 41.9, that's 42. So now we're going to keep our lead on the common, and we're going to go over to the fan. and that's 4.7 out of 5. I might still probably, replace it anyway because both of them are getting weak. So you'd want to get the proper microfarads, 45 and a 5. There's several different microfarads, so they won't all be that. There'll be 30 and 5, 40 and 5, 40 and 7.5. There's just a whole variety. So you want to get the proper one that comes out of this unit. And so these aren't too hard to test. Now, if your contactor is sucked in, your motors aren't turning, or you may hear them just sitting there humming, then I would go directly to the contactor or the capacitor, because that's probably what the problem is. So just do those tests. If you get 0, or if it doesn't show up anything, then yeah, it's definitely bad. Another telltale is the top here will kind of bulge out, and the bottom, they'll kind of bulge out. I've even had these where they've split and exploded. But yeah, so now you know how to take your microfarad readings and determine whether your capacitor is good or bad. But your motors will not run without these. So again, pretty simple. And yeah, we'll conclude this training video on the capacitors. We'll move on to the next.